So you want to magnetize your General Grievous Mini? Well, you are a bold one, and in this video, I'll help you do just that so that he'll be a fine addition to your collection. So we'll need a couple of tools to get started. First of all, you'll need your sprue cutter. You're also going to need some super glue, and then obviously your magnets. So the magnets that I have here that you're going to want to pick up are a pack of 2mm diameter and 1mm thick, and 1mm diameter, 1mm thick. Now, those are super tiny magnets. Real quick, one thing that I forgot to bring up in the original recording is that if you're working with kids or have kids around, be super careful with these magnets, because if these magnets are swallowed, surgery will have to be involved. So please keep these magnets in a safe, secure place away from kids. The other piece of equipment that you're going to need is either an electric hand drill or just a regular hand drill that has a 1mm bit. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, well, obviously just cut out the pieces from the sprues. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this process of magnetizing Grievous is the goal here is to be able to utilize all of the pieces of Grievous so that you can configure it in every pose possible with either 4 arms, 2 arms, the blaster, and as well as use the cloak, so no piece goes wasted whatsoever. Unfortunately, the model only comes with one set of shoulder blade armor. So you'll have to decide which set of arms you want to have the shoulder armor, shoulder pad armor. You know what I'm talking about. So for my Mini, I went and added the shoulder blades to the forearm configuration, because the other configurations typically have him set up with the cloak, and the cloak can kind of mask that depending on what angle you view the model at. And really and truly, unless you're like at eye level with the model, looking at him from directly the left or right side, you're not really going to notice that he's missing his shoulder pads. But it could be something that is going to be bothersome to you. So just to let you know, you will have to make that decision since there's only one set of shoulder pads that come with the model. So I'm going to go in and cut off the rounded end cap of the shoulder socket. Once I have this done, I'm going to file it down, make sure that it's nice and flat so that I can very evenly glue down the magnet pieces on. Thankfully, the 2mm diameter magnets fit right into the rounded socket on the actual arms, so no real problem there. Now, when you're gluing in the arms to the torso piece, just remember to keep in mind the polarity of the magnets so that you don't glue down the magnets facing the opposite directions and then they fight each other. You don't want that. Now, one thing that I did do is that there's a section towards the back of the neck that I went ahead and just cut that back and then filled that section with 3 or 4 magnets stacked on top of one another. Thankfully, having 3 or 4 magnets stacked on and glued to the back of the neck piece looks pretty close to what was already there once it's primed and painted, so not bad. Now, the added magnets here will give a lot of extra strength for when you glue down the cloak, because there's only going to be one magnet glued onto the cloak, and this is the section of magnets that's going to hold down the cloak whenever you want to, if you want to swap the cloak in or out. Not only will it be the anchoring point for the cloak, it'll also be the anchoring point for the collar piece. Now, here's one of the trickier parts of this build. Is what I did is I took that 1mm drill bit head and drilled into the front and back sides of the collar on the under section of the collar. And then I fit in some of those 1mm diameter and 1mm thick magnets, and I wanted to make sure that I drilled in enough to where I could push in at least 1 or 2 of those small magnets. You want to make sure that there's a magnet connecting the neck to the head. And to make sure that this is done well to where you can still have the head oriented in the way that you want it, make sure that you have the top of the neck piece cut and sanded down so that it can be flush with the magnet, and that it can be glued down flat. Same way with the head. You might need to take a drill and drill down or sand down a little bit of the insert at the back of the head where the joint would normally be glued, and this is where you'll glue another magnet, and then the two magnets will be able to connect the neck and the head easily. This build definitely involved a lot of trial and error, but I finally got a magnetized Grievous to the point to where I'm very happy with it. So far, I'm very happy with this. I'm able to mix and match every single piece of my Grievous Mini. Not a single piece has gone to waste, and it's so much fun to be able to, if I want to have them in a game and I have them starting out with the blaster pistol, then I can just go in and say, cool, I'm going to start them out with the blaster pistol, and then if I need to switch them to a lightsaber mode, I can just go in, pull the arm off, put his lightsaber arm on, or pull the head off, take the cloak off, put the collar piece on, put the head on, and then put the forearms on, and then he's just totally ready to go. Every single configuration of my Grievous Mini, 100% ready to go, no piece wasted, and no need for getting another Grievous piece. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. I put out videos every week on painting various minis, trying to get into more DIY stuff, such as this video, magnetizing the minis, and yeah, so still gonna be doing more Legion work, and then might be doing some other types of minis as well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope that you have fun magnetizing your own Grievous. See you later.